Let's fight! You guys are ready? You ready as well? Let's fight, good people. Where you guys at tonight? Let's fight! Let's fight! Good to have each and every one of you joining us this evening from around the world. Let's fight! Good to see you, lovely, beautiful folks. Here it is. Smash that emoji button. Partner with us. Let's fight, guys. Welcome in the ring, folks. Let's fight. Let's fight. Let's fight. Yep, we're still on the murder of Quindon Bacchus. That's where we pick up our broadcast from this evening. From the East Coast and from Golden Grove, wherever you're joining us from, welcome in the ring. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Barbara Waldron, I see you there. Brenda Norton, I see you there. Diane Fordyce, I see you as well. Veronica Primo Rollins and Alexis Marcus, we see you as well. Roxanne Odessa Jacobs, Sheldon Joseph, share the live, folks. Carol Fordyce, Gail Allicock, share the live. Amabel Clement, Roxanne Odessa Jacobs, Ann Singh, Volmir Wilson, Urban Holder. Good to have each and every one of you here with us. Sheena Hazel as well, and Isabella Brothers, we see. Junior Gibbs, Charles Nelson is here as well. I see Wendy Caesar, Shauna Fortune, Marla Allicock, good to have you. Marla Pandey, Roxy, good to see you. Alicia Campbell as well. Arvil Jacobs, and all you beautiful, lovely, fantastic folks. Junior Gibbs is here as well. We see Randolph Benjamin, Nicola Bass, come on down, and Mitchell, Darlene, Jigale, and Lorraine Strick, Marvin Garraway, we see you, and Zoan Stewart, Lilith Fraser. I see Roseanne Langevine is here too. Crystal Simon Kesh, Sharma not to be left out. Donna David, Tanya Cummins, Charles Nelson. Good to have each and every one of you in the ring, guys. Dion Britton and Darlene, Nikki, Paulette, Denise. I see John Raymond, Natasha Ben, Carla Reynolds again. Good to have you folks in the ring. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Smash that emoji button, folks. Coming up, the one and only parliamentary opposition, Chief Whip Christopher Jones, the parliamentary opposition Chief Whip Christopher Jones coming up. Also, folks, the president of the Caribbean Institute, the Guyana Caribbean Institute of Democracy, the one and only Rickford Burke is going to be joining us. Wilma Grant, good to see you. Heaven Fred, Glenna Jones, Rosa Niblett, Politics, Emily Grant, good to have you folks. Boots on the ground, Rhonda Gordon, Denise, good to see you. Eula Lafferman Rubens, good to have you here. Nikki Innes, Onika Light, Paulette Hicks. Guys, we are so happy you guys are here with us. Donna Liverpool, Dan Fordyce, Prosperous, Linnell, good to have you. Yvette Haber Grant, we see you too. We see Stan Board, and we see Kim Dickinson and Everett Small. How are you folks doing? Welcome in the ring, guys. Share the live, smash that emoji button. We're fired up at this end, guys. Lola John, ready to go. Tessa Haywood, Coco Brown, and Jennifer Haynes. Come on down, Shonda Moses, Alexis Thomas. We see you out there, Alexis. Christine Foguera and Wilton Blue. Wilton, thanks for the thing. Good to have you, Wilton. Thanks for the thing. Carmilla, Tessa Haywood, Devon Austin. And I see Nessa is here as well. Nessa. I see also Freddie James and Merriman Gaddafi. Guys, welcome in the ring. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Lorraines who have returned to Sparkle City. Raymond, Elizabeth. Good to see you, Lizelle and Antonia, Ariane and family, all the families represented in the Narayan tribe. Good to have you guys. Nandi, Melissa Lewis, good to see you as well. And Shauna, all of you fantastic folks. Merriman Gaddafi is here as well. Ann Singh is here. Paul Hopkins is here as well. And Pauline Austin. Folks, we're fired up and we are ready to go. Folks, we are still on the Quindon Bacchus issue and the demand for justice, the right to justice. Aaron Adams and the tone deaf Air Finale administration, we can be talking about that as well. And Lennox Anderson, good to have you. Yolanda, good to have you. All of you folks, Eunice Cato, How are you doing, Eunice and Anne and Lisa? I see Shavane Reed and Wilson Harding. Melissa McFarlane. Good to have you here, Melissa. I ain't seen you in a couple of days. Where are yours? We forgive you, Melissa. Rock and come in more often. Rock and come in. Lionheart, Cassandra Keeler, and all the other folks joining us. Paul Bourne. How are you doing, Paul and Derek McCalmont? Guys, good to have you. Welcome in the ring to each and every one of you. We're so very happy you guys are here. Wherever you're joining us, folks, wherever you're joining us from around the world, share the live, smash that emoji button, and let's get a move on, folks. Jamal Aziz, we see you there. Renella Dole, good to have you. Siobhan Fraser, Joylyn Elvis, and Shaboni Semple, Rowena Cummins, great to have you as well. Elizabeth Williams, good to have each and every one of you folks tonight. Again, we pick up our broadcast, folks, from the East Coast. Nicole and Noel and this Adash Subran, good to see you. Jordan Cook, Latoya Morris, good to have you as well. And I see Ann Beverly, Jamie Gomes, each and every one of you folks, share the live. Brennan Anderson, smash that emoji button. Osman Jackson, partner with us. Dennis London Welshman, share the live. Babani, smash that emoji button. Rachel Glasgow, partner with us. Agatha Queen, Lois McKenzie, Shannon Sichuan Mohan, good to have you. Good to have Carol Hudson as well, and Marlon Ford, folks. There are thousands of you who have joined us from around the world. It's our privilege. We're heartened, we're humbled that you folks choose to spend this time with us. Dion, Ayana, Bibi Sandy Ford, you as well, and Babani, joining Elvis, Patricia Kissoon. I see Adessa is here as well, and Shireen Bacchus. All of you fantastic folk, Don Watson, Ziggy Brudas, Justice for Quindon Bacchus, Pamela Peters, Patricia Leacock, Randolph, Benjamin, folks. We begin this evening. Welcome to each and every one of you. Whether you guys are joining us, wherever you're joining us from, we are happy to have you here. And we were just about getting started without ensuring, folks, you know we can't do that, without ensuring, just like you, we are shared to all the right places as well. We're coming down to Gaza and we're coming down to Gully as well. Stay with us, folks. Share the damn live, folks, and smash that emoji button for us. We're fired up, folks, and we're ready to go. Boots on the ground, folks. Boots on the ground. That's what's going down. Share the live. We're ensuring that we're shared to all the right places. We got to do that, folks. We got to do this. Give us a second. We're going to be right through. We're going to be right through it, guys. Share to all the right places. Coming up, Parliamentary Opposition Chief Whip Christopher Jones. Coming up, the President of the Guyana, the Caribbean Guyana Institute for Democracy out of New York. Coming up, folks, we are going to be talking about that and some other things that are happening there. We will, folks, be talking about that. Coming up. Share the live, folks. Smash that emoji button and let's get a move on. Fired up. And we are ready to go, and we hope that you guys are as well. We truly hope you guys are as well. Hold a sec for us, guys. Hold a sec. Share the live. Smash that emoji button, guys. And maybe you want to say hello to somebody. Well, y'all don't even need to ask for that. Y'all just get right to it because y'all is them bad name children. Yep. We're ensuring, guys, just ensuring that we are shared to all the places we need to be shared to. And then we're right with you guys. Hold on, man. Hold on. Somebody, don't hurry. Y'all fast, that's the whole story with y'all. Y'all too fast. Share the live, folks. Smash that emoji button. We are fired up, and we hope that you guys are as well. Fired up and ready to go. I think we've done it. I think there we are, folks. Where are you joining us from around the world? Where are you joining us from on social media? Whether that's Twitter, folks, follow us on that page. Whether you guys are joining us on YouTube, you're a tuber. Great to have you here with us, folks. If you're joining us on LinkedIn, great to have you as well. You folks are joining us on a Facebook page somewhere around the world in a group, on a profile. Welcome. Follow, like, share. You know what you got to do, folks. Come on, guys. Share, like, and share. Moving on up. We're so happy that you guys are here with us. And if you're joining us on Facebook, follow us on whatever Facebook page you're following us. And I want to thank all of those who have pushed my page over 100,000 followers. So happy about that, guys. Thank you always. You matter, folks. We know that you got so many options on social media and otherwise where you can spend all of your time, but you guys gather here for what's what's happening around the country, in the region, and around the world. We're so happy, folks. We are specifically this evening quite focused, still focused. We hold the focus. Justice for Quindon Bacchus. And we pick up our broadcast from Golden Grove this evening. The family of Quindon Bacchus said very, very clearly today that, rather yesterday afternoon, late yesterday afternoon, that they're not about violence. They're not about robbery. The protest for Quindon Bacchus is not about some of the violent things that transpired, for instance, at the Mon Repos market. Reprehensible act. People must be allowed to do what they do out there, to vend and so forth, without being interfered by anybody. The things don't concern you, but we understand you got some dunce thugs that can be planted, to bring that kind of mayhem and agony to the people there at Mon Repos. We understand that, and we condemn it as well. It's not about that, folks. This is the family of Quindon Bacchus saying precisely that.
Good afternoon. We are here protesting peacefully, and we're here to send a message. We are not a part of no robbery. Our son was killed. A police officer killed him, 6 bullets. We are not here to lime and party and rob anyone. No robbery.
No robbing.
We are not a part of it. We are protesting peacefully for justice
any robbing of anyone.
Quindon Bacchus, and we denounce any robbery. So please,
so that's not coming from us.
Not us. Thank you very much. Cut the line. You ready?
Yep, I hope some of you are taking the opportunity as we start this evening to share the live, smash that emoji button, and partner with us as well, good people. First item on the fight card. That was the first item on the fight card. The family of Quindon Bacchus says, we're not about that. And I want to play it again so some of you get it between your ears. It is not about that. Looting and destruction and the dunce thugs were implanted there among those protesters, lending their voices. Justice for Quindon Bacchus. Family says as well, it's not about that. Take another listen, folks. Take another look.
Good afternoon. We are here protesting peacefully, and we're here to send a message. We are not a part of no robbery. Our son was killed. A police officer killed him, 6 bullets. We are not here to lime and party and rob anyone. No robbery.
No robbing.
We are not a part of it. We are protesting peacefully for justice
any robbing of anyone.
Quindon Bacchus, and we denounce any robbery. So please,
so that's not coming from us.
Not us. Thank you very much. Cut the line. You ready?
That was late yesterday afternoon. And by nightfall, the police had moved into Golden Grove, meant to put down that very peaceful protest that was happening there, and fired on people indiscriminately. Pellets, rubber bullets, and we even were made to understand using live rounds as well, firing on protesters. One such bystander, passerby, if you will, was the Stabrook News assistant editor Samantha Allen, who was struck several times by pellet, and even her son, we made to understand, a St. Joseph High School student, was also caught up in that brutality, really and truly, that was unleashed on the people there of Golden Grove. And this is some of that. This is some of that.
Lil Bang, you shouldn't get on the road, you stupid. Oh, schoolie babe. Schoolie babe, everything. I'm
Yep. Hit several times by pellet. Just on their way home. Just on their way home and passing that area. Struck several times by the indiscriminate fire by members of the Ghana Police Force. A total failing of the Ghana Police Force yesterday, to say the least, and that should be up for review. But some other things happened in Golden Grove last evening that we didn't get a chance to show. For instance, this about last night.
Go, we get them, don't worry them. They're gonna put it back. I'll just put on your camera, this is all you gotta do. This is all you gotta do. Yeah, people fucking then and I'm shooting in here. And I'm shooting in here. How the fuck did you gonna like a tear glass thing in here? I told my ass all over, boy. I told my ass I want just like you. You could shoot, I want just like you. You could shoot. I come shut up. I talk it to you. I talk it to you. Fuck you. Shut up. You don't fucking up too fast. I'm gonna say if I talk it to you. Humble now. That's the fucking all right. Yeah, it's alright. You get caught. Where you get caught? Where you get caught? This fucking youth man get caught in here. I saw my ass all the fucking about bleeding out in here, boy. I some real fucking crap, man, huh? Bring on the bike. Wait. No, don't pull it. Back on the what's that, Nadi? The door can't lock and the bike bleeding out. No, you get hard. The bike bleeding out in there. And the man bleeding out. It's a fucking heart or what? There's some heart all over, buddy. Fucking youth man bleeding out and I'm shooting up on people in there. There's some fucking heart all over, buddy. There's some real fucking crap, boy. The man bleeding out and I'm shooting up in there. There's some heart all over, boy. It's a fucking done here. The man bleeding out and I'm shooting up on the people. You can't go to the man go to the center. But the fuck the ambulance there? I saw a crowd, man. Yeah, you motherfuckers supposed to go and start shooting up there. You can't go there. And the fucking man in the shop. But you're not sure now, but you're a fucking asshole, but you can't go there. You got to the man's ambulance here. Man's a real fucking crash, man. Man's a real fucking asshole, man. You can't in this fucking shop and I'm shooting people. Like you're a fucking trainer, man.
No, you see them people.
You man in the shop and I'm still shooting up me on the shop. You see that, man?
I can feel grass.
Yep. Let me see that. Yeah.
And so some of that is what transpired at Golden Grove last evening. But that's what's happening, folks. Ropes and Ben earlier that afternoon, yesterday afternoon, was at Mon Repos Market, as we reported. Ropes and Ben was at Mon Repos Market. Well, the reception wasn't nice at all. The reception at Mon Repos Market was not nice at all. Take a look, take a listen to what transpired yesterday afternoon at Mon Repos.
Y'all come out. You come with me. You come with me. You come with me.
You pay to taxpayers money for you.
No.
You got to pay from who? You need pay. You can pay that to people.
Come on.
No. You need to pay this stuff. You pay taxpayers money. Let me fucking last you down.
Yep. That was Mon Repos and the reception that Ropes and Men got there. Also at Mon Repos yesterday afternoon, folks. Also at Mon Repos.
Yeah, you ready, gas? What? Then people dead here now. People dead here now. Hey, man! Man, do that, not good. Yeah. Daddy boss gone, bye. Gone. Fully gone.
I'm sure you heard that. Throw the gas. Where the gas? Throw the gas. Guyana gone. It's gone. Folks watching us at home, watching us at home and around the world, we keep saying there's something seething just below the surface of this country, of this nation, that the leadership, the government, the regime of the day, they are failing to address, hoping that their band-aids of hampers and handouts solve the problem. It will not. It will require leadership. That is what it will require. And while we were on that, a gentleman yesterday morning threatened the life of Irfan Ali. And no person less than yours truly was apportioned blame for that, saying that I didn't step in and I didn't reprimand the fella. Well, later on yesterday afternoon, the very gentleman who threatened the life of Irfan Ali, and that is reprehensible and should not happen and should not be condoned. But this very gentleman was yesterday afternoon escorting Ropes and Men in Golden Grove. Yep. This is the part of the program we say Guyana is not a real place. A very gentleman was escorting Ropes and Men in Golden Grove. And we're reliably informed this evening that he has since been arrested, and now we see that we're seeing reports that he is mentally challenged and he has been seeing a psychiatrist. But he was seen yesterday afternoon escorting Ropes and Men in Golden Grove. Part of our coverage of the protests for justice for Quindon Bacchus. Yesterday we told you that Irfan Ali is part of, supporting the people of Mon Repos, as any president should, visited that area there. Yep. But many have said that the president's failure to go further up East Coast to places like Golden Grove, for instance, failing to venture there, tells us that it's not one Guyana. It is not one Guyana as preached by Irfan Ali at all. And while that was happening, you know, some unsavory actions took place there at the Mon Repos market that should not happen, cannot be condoned. We saw Vindhya Prasad there as well today. Minister of Social Protection and Human Services, and the minister was there to offer trauma and counseling support and other services. Trauma and counseling support and other services to the folks there at the Mon Repos market. And one wonders what has happened to the Bacchus family if such services were offered to them as well for the trauma of having lost a son, shot 6 times. Once in front, 5 times to his back. Is this administration tone deaf in terms of race relations? Are they tone deaf? In addition to that, when Nathan Ali was there yesterday, there was a promise compensation for the folks who suffered loss yesterday. That took place today. One woman said she lost $3 million in pylori and egg balls. $3 million in pylori and egg ball. Mortimer, Timothy, Michelle Gomes, Unruly Pop Queen, Leonard Jacobs, Daphne Joseph Lee. She lost $3 million in pylori and egg ball. And she received $200,000 in compensation rather. She received $200,000 in compensation. In addition to that, there were other vendors who received compensation as well. One woman said she received $1.5 million for damages to goods and the vehicle. What was used as the yardstick to say what people had and what they lost remains a mystery. But one vendor said she received $1.5 million in damages to her goods and a vehicle at Mon Repos. The question is being asked tonight, what is the value for a life loss? Shot 6 times. That's personal. What's the value to a life loss? Also happening today, folks. Also happening today. Imran Gaza Satar made some comments on TikTok. And Imran says you should kill out all black people. Questions again being asked today. Is Imran going to be investigated? Jason Aaron, Teacher Allison, Melissa McFarlane, brace yourselves. Brace yourselves.
Fucking police, them all look like a fucking thief. Yeah, black man that's like fucking jump houses. Yeah, fucking Matty black man, shoot you like a Matty black man. Your mother's gonna get fucking sense, eh? The fucking man down there and gonna. Oh, mother's gonna the policeman, yeah, gotta look for. Kill the police out. No fucking cool the people do ya not is ya old Matty black man shoot a Matty black man. I mother's gonna go from fucking racist now, eh? I mother's gonna dotage bad black man. And I mother's gonna get sense. Like I can never fucking go school. I need to go fucking school. I mother's gonna dotage bad. I never see fucking black man so yet. Eh, burning fucking burning up fucking people vehicle. But hey, black people and pies and your mother's gonna keep a party. And fucking make sure invite all your mother's gonna all the black man in this country. Cook and get your mother's gonna fit and show pies in your fucking food and get you dead out of your mother's gonna. After I kinda get no fucking sense black man. Me said I am known as fucking Gaza on TikTok. I kill all your mother's cunt out if I get the fucking chance to kill black man. I shoot all of your mother's cunt out.
Imran, known as Gaza on TikTok, sharing his thoughts with the nation. The responses were swift and very much so. This is just one of them. Folks, we say to you, there are issues that are just seething below the surface of this nation, and it will take leadership, folks. Are you guys sharing the live so others get valid and credible information? It will take leadership. The responses were swift. This is such one.
All right, Imran from Langtop. You better don't let non-black man see your mother skirt no way. Because anytime you see you, why we slapping out your fucking head, don't get sense. You want poison black man? You want poison black man, kill black man? Imran from Mon Repos, Langtop.
Yep. Of course, guys, we do not subscribe to violence of any kind against any person. But it will take leadership. That is too much failing in this country. And the authorities look as though, again, they're only interested in, band-aids of handouts and hampers. And while that was happening, Imran Gaza from TikTok, he came out with an apology after that. And one wonders whether the apology does more harm than good.
Sorry. Hey guys, good afternoon, what's up? Well, y'all don't know it's Gaza again. Well, you guys, yesterday the 2 videos I posted up last night, I've been angry, I've been passionate, I've been fake.
One wonders.
Right, but sorry to the black people, they want to say, oh, keep a party and kill out all y'all and stuff. I'm sorry for that, and I hope y'all understand it. I mean, I vexed yesterday all day. I've been vexed, yes. I've been vexed though, but I'm sorry though, right? So, yeah, hope y'all see the videos and y'all understand. I mean,
so Imran says, sorry to all the black people who will say how we're going to kill out and keep a party and kill out all of them. Sorry to all the black people. Again, if you might have missed that, might have gone by too fast, that's the apology.
Sorry. Hey guys, good afternoon, what's up? Well, y'all don't know it's Gaza again. Well, you guys, yesterday the 2 videos I posted up last night, I've been angry, I've been passionate, I've been vexed, right? But sorry to the black people, they want to say, oh, keep a party and kill out all y'all and stuff. I'm sorry for that, and I hope y'all understand it. I mean, I vexed yesterday all day. I've been vexed, yes. I've been vexed though, but I'm sorry though, right? So, yeah, hope y'all see the videos and y'all understand. I mean,
valid, credible information. We encourage you, wherever around the world you're joining us from, share the live, smash that emoji button, folks. And it wasn't finished there, because Imran regrettably had company today on social media. He had company. He had company in the form of Navindra Rekram, who said the government should put out a law to shoot protesters. Navindra went on to call protesters crop dogs. There is something seething there, just below the surface in this nation, and certainly it's not one Guyana.
Yeah, the fucking mad people that want to run a road, the government should put out on fucking law and stupid people who protest, shoot all of your mother's cunt and kill you, or your fucking crab dog. Where I gotta run and thief people thing, go look fucking walk, or your junkie looking scunt. One man fucking dead, all of you run go protest at your mother's cunt. Are you fucking stupid? Are you hungry? Why you not go look walk? Why you not clean fucking drainer? Are you junkie? Are you? Eh? What kind of what fucking do? The government got to laugh for shoot all of your mother's cunt. Cause so much innocent fucking people life are go behind this thing here. So innocent people get catch in between. Are you fucking crab dog? Are you? Why not crawl in your fucking hole and stay easy?
Folks, again, Navindra, much like Imran, sharing his thoughts with us. There was another young man on social media this afternoon, perhaps with the consciousness that all of us should possess in such a time as this. Here is what he said.
You know why I can't understand? Why Guyanese people is always get lead astray by negativity all the time. You understand me? You're going to tell them, go and look at work, and so long they're going to take before they go and get this work. But the minute they hear they got certain stubbornness going on in the street, certain activities, they say how fast they're going out. You understand me? You see the stubbornness one for the East Coast? I condemn it, you know. I condemn it 100 because we are all Guyanese. We's one. They ain't no segregation and these are the thing. You understand me? Always one. It's like you don't mess around hustlers and people business and these kind of thing. Despite what going on with the law, you understand me? There's ways about going about these side of things. You're supposed to kind of mess around people business and these things, right? I condemn it. I condemn it. Yes, I me. Condolences to the little boy family them that got killed by the car. Yeah, everybody wants justice, yeah? Justice will be served, but there's ways about going about it. You understand me? This thing don't happen just so. And another thing, Mr. Ali, President Ali, let me show you something, my boss. You see this, you see this segregation thing what y'all is talking about? Let me show you this. The segregation this is come from y'all at the top, the politicians them. If y'all can't unite, you understand me? These two parties, if y'all can't unite, you could never get a one Guyana. You could never get a one Guyana because y'all showing the people them blatantly there are fights going on among yourself as politicians. Y'all in power right now and y'all gotta make a difference. Y'all gotta show people y'all is for everybody. Y'all is not just for one set of people. Y'all gotta show y'all is for everybody. Don't just tag this thing. Cause people in there on tax right now. Yes, right, man. People want to see action. Don't just say yes for everybody. And then next thing you know, it's not for everybody. You're just doing it for the press. Yes, right, man. For instance, use the president. You got your ministers and all these things, right? Let me show you this thing, right? Let's show you where the segregation starts, right? Good. Look at Lane Avenue. Look at Jubilee Park. Yeah, it's Granger them build the place, but yet stay here, then y'all have to sit down and watching these places in the capital city of Georgetown falling apart and y'all ain't doing nothing. Because why? It's not your ability. It's not your ability, it's the opposition ability. So what y'all really showing with there? Yeah? Fix these things. These things is for the Guyanese people them. Y'all do things for the Guyanese people them. Don't do things off of where y'all feel and where y'all think. Do it for the people them of this country. You understand me? Y'all got done with this chauvinist. If Arby can't come to his senses, you understand me? And Mr. Ali can't come to his senses, the president for this country, and unite as one guy, you know? We can't move forward. Don't matter how much y'all say y'all want we move forward. We can't move forward. You understand what I'm telling y'all? We can't move forward if y'all don't done this foolishness. Because I ban in segregation. I ban and see people separating a nation, dividing it. When we're supposed to uniting and moving forward for betterments, it coming from the head. It's the politician them, this segregation thing coming from. And if y'all can't fix it, it could never move forward from where they're right now. It going on for years. Use a young president. Stand up for the people them of this country, big man. Stand up for the people them of this country. Don't listen and take certain advice from people who are in this politics game for years. You understand me? Because it's years ago we under segregation, you understand me? You gotta look out for the people them of this country. Not just you people them, every single body. Despite people them vote for y'all and this side of thing, look out for them because everybody is one in this country. You understand me? Every single body is one. And if y'all can't make it right at the top, it could never be right at the bottom. So y'all get it right and unite as one guy, you know. Again, condolences to the people them that lost a loved one in the incident in Haslington. Y'all get it right. The politicians them, y'all get it right. Arbinatu, all y'all was play, y'all don't want to talk to one another. Y'all got personal issues in politics. Boy, are you best fucking focused, boy. Sorry to using these kind of languages all in morning, but watch, y'all focus and know what y'all really dealing with. You ever telling y'all is the ones them that running this country, people watching y'all. Not just Guyanese, people in the outside, the outer world watching y'all. And the separation and the segregation y'all got going on in this country. You ever telling y'all need to start uniting. We gotta start shaking Mr. Alian and Mr. Ali gotta start shaking Mr. Norton and y'all done this foolishness because this segregation and separation could never done if y'all don't unite as one at the top there. You were telling her, you say you get it right.
Privileged to have with me this evening Parliamentary Opposition Chief Whip Christopher Jones, as well as the Caribbean Ghana Institute of Democracy's President Rickford Burke, joining us this evening. Rickford and Christopher, welcome. Privileged to have you guys here. And these are the issues and events from today. Chris, Rickford, help us to make sense of it.
I'll have Rickford make the first jump. Go ahead, Rickford.
Hey, good night, Chris. What's up? Well, Sharon, I want to start off. I want to begin my comments with the the last young man you just played there, calling for unity. I'm happy that you played that so that Irfan Ali and Barjagde and the others in the people realize the people are watching them. There could not have been a starker demonstration of racism by the PP government when Irfan Ali went to those people at Mon Repos. He started the day by condemning the Daily News article that said Christophe de Nobrega was released. He could have left and gone directly to the family of Quindon Bacchus, offer them his condolences, and reassure them that the matter would be thoroughly and fairly investigated, and the law will follow the facts. Now, he didn't do that. He doesn't care, because this is the young black boy in Haslington in Golden Grove, and that's not their constituency. Mon Repos, however, is their constituency. So when the police caused that unrest in Mon Repos, he ran to the Mon Repos people, reassured them that the government will compensate them for the destruction of their stalls or whatever. They didn't offer to compensate the Bacchus family for the murder of Quindon Bacchus. Why? They don't care. It's an Afro-Guyanese citizen. He's not their constituent. They're governing under the principle of Trumpism. They're governing as an ethnocracy. They're governing only for East Indian supporters of the PPP. Now, I want to make it very clear to everybody that the unrest that occurred at Mon Repos yesterday was created by the Ghana police force. These people were marching to Georgetown to protest in front of the Ghana police force or whatever. You mean to tell me, with a population of under 800,000, the Ghana police force cannot do crowd management? I live in New York, where you have 8 million people, with a police department of 40,000, policing 8 million people. And New York is the best city when it comes to crowd control. They don't shoot people. They cooperate with you. They protect the protesters because it's a constitutional right that you're exercising. In Guyana, this racist East Indian-led PP government is trying to outlaw protests by black people. When they were in opposition, they protested every day. Barjagde, when them led protests, Irfan Ali, the current president, attempted to kill Karen Cummings by turning over her car in public, in the presence of police officers. And I blame President Granger for that, because he did instruct the police officers to enforce the law. And now they're shooting at people. They're shooting at people, and coordinated, simultaneous with the police, shooting live rounds at protesters. PPP had their supporters in Barbies, in Belgium, where two jumbo jet auto vehicles were seen shooting at Afro-Guyanese residents in Belgium. Nobody condemned that today. Did you hear anybody from the PP condemn those two young men? Even though the first young man, Imran or whatever his name, he called for black police officers to be killed. It's a crime. Why hasn't he been arrested? Why didn't the police put out a wanted bulletin for him? They don't care, because he's advocating the death of black people. The other one, the same thing. And let me say this finally. I noticed Irfan Ali saying yesterday that somebody has a death threat against him on some Facebook page where they commented and implied that the member of parliament didn't condemn it. Irfan Ali has on his page right now a death threat against me, Rickford Burke, where a PPP supporter, an East Indian PPP supporter, called for my head to be cut off and brought to him, and he'll pay them $10 million. And I wrote the police force. The FBI spoke to people in the Guyana government about it. On the Guyana Police Force Facebook page right now. I was just talking to Minister Government and I told him that. And I told the National Security Advisor as well. And we wrote the police commissioner on the police Facebook page. Somebody is saying, bring Rickford Burke to me in Guyana, dead or alive. That's a death threat. And the Guyana Police Force, one, refused to remove it. Two, refused to investigate the person who said it and arrest them. And I'm advised by the FBI, the person resides in Guyana. So I want to say this. Irfan Ali with his death threat can go to hell because they don't condemn these things against Black people. But whenever somebody threatens an East Indian person, they run and arrest them. Amansa was threatened. She filed something with the Cyber Crime Act. So too was Adam Harris and so many other people. The Guyana Police Force refused to investigate it. Why? We are all Black people. So when they want to talk about one Guyana, right, they must consider these things. When they say one Guyana, are they talking about one East Indian Guyana? Or are they truly talking about one Guyana with 6 people? I want to know that.
Rickford, just to be fair, I want to say that it cannot be acceptable when anybody threatens the president, whether it's Irfan Ali or David Granger. It cannot be acceptable.
Exactly. I'm not saying it's acceptable, but I'm saying they don't enforce the law when people threaten Black leaders. And so now they're complaining about that. And that is what I'm saying. Go to hell too. Enforce the law equally. It is unacceptable for somebody to threaten David Granger. It is unacceptable for somebody to threaten the life of Barrett Jackdale. It's unacceptable for somebody to threaten the life of a regular East Indian person. It's unacceptable for someone to threaten the life of Rickford Burke, Christopher Jones, Sherrod Duncan. All of us get their threats. The PPP government promotes it. Irfan Ali has a death threat against me on his page. We wrote him. We wrote the police. We asked him to condemn it. We asked him to remove it. He has refused. He is currently promoting a death threat against me. And this, I see the communications director for CGID issuing a statement tonight that says, if the police refuse to address this matter and anybody attacks anybody from CGID, the response will be ruthless and unprecedented. And I echo that tonight.
Christopher, your thoughts?
Well, yeah, good night again, Rickford, Sherrod, good night to your viewers. I mean, you know, as we mentioned last night on the program, is that essentially the People's Progressive Party Civic has been at it in terms of trying to outlaw protests in Guyana. In fact, when there is a protest like what we saw yesterday, the PPP and their media houses that are aligned to them publicize it as if it is something that should be in the Guinness Book of World Record. Protests never happened before, ever. This is the first country in South America in which protests of this nature is happening. People protest when the system fails them. People don't just pick up on one day and just decide to go and protest. The Bacchus family started the protest demonstration over a month ago. They started right on the street corner. You never see Irfan Ali or any minister of the government going up to reach the relative to tell them that they are looking into the matter. It is only after that mass protest demonstration that you saw yesterday that suddenly Robeson Ben found his way up to Golden Grove. Irfan Ali found his way on the East Coast. But rightfully, as Rickford said, and I agree with him, that the only thing that brought Irfan Ali out of his office is because his constituents there was an incident involving his constituency. That is why he was out there, first and foremost. It had nothing to do with the Bacchus family. It had nothing to do with Buxton. Buxton was just a stopover as a result of being on the East Coast and wanted to ensure that no one says that, look, you're only stopping in Mon Repos. And that is what we talk about. They love to preach this song about one Guyana. And there are a lot of Guyanese who are getting carried away with that nonsense. And I will keep saying that is absolutely nonsense, especially when you look and continue to look at the track record of the People's Progressive Party Civic. Irfan Ali yesterday morning is saying to the relative of the Bacchus family and the residents along the East Coast of Demerara and all Guyanese across this country that they must trust, trust the system? Not trust the system, trust the process. Immediately after this program is concluded, I will be posting on my page a list that comprises of 459 Guyanese that were killed extrajudicially under the successive People's Progressive Party civic government, under successive People Progressive Party civic presidents, of which each and every single one of their families were told by the president of the PPP at the time, trust the system. And to date, of the 459 compiled lists, a dossier that was submitted to the United Nations, the head of CARICOM, of 459 Guyanese who were killed extrajudicially in this country. To date, 442 of them are still awaiting justice. What system are you telling people to trust? And this comes on the heel of, or in Boston there, in Dartmouth on the SC Cribble Coast. It comes on the heel of the Henry Boyce family. And even with the Henry Boyce family, and you know, let me change it up a bit here. Let me speak specifically about the Henry Boyce family. And I want to remind particularly the people on the west coast of Berbice. When the protest started for the Henry Boyce, Irfan Ali, as president of this country, in an address, and Rickford, I'm sure you would recall this, said that there was no justification for the blocking of the road, the burning of the tire, the raping of women. You recall that?
Mm-hmm.
And there were several media houses that reached out to Irfan Ali and asked him, could you identify the women that were raped in the villages of Belladrum, Paradise, Hopetown, and along the West Coast Police? And to date, Irfan Ali cannot produce a single person who was raped. But you see, he needed to put that out there, given the impression across this country and further afield that protests is happening in these African villages and women are being raped.
Because they see black people as criminals and rapists. You would recall, both of you are members of parliament in Guyana. You would recall when the police attempted to remove disorderly MPs, including Priya Manichan, she screamed rape.
Yes.
And they were saying that the black police officers were raping them in parliament on live TV.
Right.
That is because the PPP believes that black people are rapists and criminals. And that's what they're telegraphing to the world. So when they say one Guyana, that is to public relations and international consumption. They don't mean that. They leave their speeches, the audiences, and go and laugh and say, yeah, we got them again like fools. Then white people from the international community believe this is one Guyana. No way, this is one Kuli Guyana. That's how some of them talk. I have a recording. It's not because I don't want to undermine my sources, where somebody from the PPP is saying, this country I belong to Kuli people. I have it, right? But I don't want to undermine my sources. So that is exactly how I mean, somebody right up in top of the government, that is exactly how they feel. They feel that this country belongs to them. And when we point it out, they call us racist, as if it's a strategy to get us to shut up.
That's right.
It's a strategy to get us not to talk about the racism.
Rickford is absolutely correct. Rickford is absolutely correct. And I've been saying this. Listen, there is this elephant in the room, this huge elephant, you could even call it a mammoth in this country, called racism, that exists in employment, in allocation of resources, you name it, it exists in this country.
And Chris, that is the question. That's the question I was going to ask, whether indeed that is the elephant in the room, and the facade is this one Guyana. But then we listen to Guyanese like Imran Satar. We listen to Guyanese like Navindra Likram, and we hear something that's totally different from what Irfan Ali is talking about. Clearly, these gentlemen who are Guyanese do not believe there's one Guyana.
And don't forget, you said gentlemen, Cheryl, don't forget Auntie Socky.
Yeah.
Remember Auntie Socky from just during the recount segment?
Correct. And there was a young woman who preceded Auntie Socky too. There was a young woman who preceded
Auntie Socky came back the next day and said that she apologized for what she said. I drink up the little rum and empty the day before. That's why I said, listen, I always say to people, never apologize for what you say or do. Because at one point in time, it was exactly what you wanted to see. And that is the reality. So you don't have to apologize. Once you said it, at one point in time, it is exactly what you wanted to say. So come back and apologize. You know, even sometimes people say, well, I could say I'm sorry, but I don't do it already. That is the reality. And over time, the People's Progressive Party Civic as a party, as a political movement, has been demonizing Afro-Guyanese for a number of years. I said before that as political leaders, the PPP give you one of three stains in your political career. You're either dubbed a rapist, you're either dubbed a thief, or you're dubbed a murderer. They tried it on David Granger. It was no less of a person than then Barrett Jagdeo, who said to people that if Granger becomes president of this country, the soldier man them go come and rape your daughter. That is on record. And when he realized that that wasn't working, the same Barrett Jagdeo came back and said David Granger got blood on his hands and spoke about the ballot boxes and how Granger was in charge of the Ghana Defense Force and he instructed soldiers to shoot and kill people with ballot boxes. When at that time, David Granger was just an officer up at Tamari Airport at the time. But that is what they do. They label you. Sherrod Duncan, for example, some of the comments you would see that Sherrod Duncan is a thief. They don't get Christopher Jones as a thief, sold barber chairs. Every Afro-Guyanese leadership in this country, the PPP ensures that they stain you with one of three. And that it permeates throughout the villages. So that's why when you see youngsters making those comments about black people, why y'all don't go and walk, hungry belly and so forth, that is the reality. That is what they're taught in the bottom house. That is where they're taught in the spit press from the People's Progressive Party Civic. That is the reality of this country. Now the challenge that they have is that this is not 1964, this is not 1982, and this is 2022. Where you got technology and so forth and access to information. And the instant something like that comes up, you will get condemnation and people pointing it out and so forth. Like, for example, that same youngster Satar. You see the people identify where he's from and so forth. But have you seen the People's Progressive Party Civic,
the
minister of the government, write on their Facebook page condemning any one of those individuals?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
It's because they support what he said. They support what was said.
And then they say to us that, listen, the incident at Mon Repos where people stands and everything being burnt and everything, and there's no condemnation from X, Y, and Z and so forth.
Rickford and Chris, on that note, failing to condemn this, and for what it is, very, very racist remarks. Rickford says they support it. But, is Irfan Ali missing a moment? Irfan Ali could be a good installed president. They seem to be missing a teachable moment in this country to speak directly to race.
Before I answer that, I want to follow up on something Chris said. No person less than the Attorney General went on national TV when I criticized him and told the people I'm a rapist, I'm a thief, I'm a this, I'm a that. I hope he's going to come to court and prove it, because we intend to sue him federally and in Guyana, federally here. And I hope he has a very large bank account. And if he were very smart, he would start talking to my attorneys about settling this libel lawsuit. Now,
because you're living in a basement in US.
Yeah. Me and your wife. But here's something. Irfan Ali is not going to say anything that is going to place him outside of his constituency. That's why nobody in the PPP is condemning those racist acts. That's why nobody in the PPP is condemning the death threats against us. Because they don't want to cross their supporters. They want to send a subtle signal through their silence that they're complicit with them, that they support what they're saying. But they can't come out and say, but thank you, Mike, for saying that, because I want to say it a long time. I just can't say it because I'm as a minister. But them black people are dogs. That's what they think. That's what they think. That's what Priya Manichan thinks, because she's the one that said all lives matter, not black lives matter. That's what Barrett Jagdeo thinks, because he said the same thing. That's what Irfan Ali thinks, because he said the same thing. They don't even understand the importance of black lives matter in a foreign society. But they're going with Trumpism and they're going with the KKK to say all lives matter, which means black lives don't matter too, either. So he is not missing a moment. He wants to identify with his constituency. That's why they promised the people to compensate them.
And
They're compensating the people. Nothing is wrong with that, by the way. And let me say, we are talking about racism. And we're talking about it because racism and victimization and discrimination is directed against Afro-Guyanese by an East Indian-led government. And there are East Indians in Guyana that don't support that. They are law-abiding, patriotic East Indians that do not support the racist policies, that support us, and we support them. We are not talking about those people. We're talking about the racist sycophants of the PPP cult. That's what we're talking about. So I don't want anybody to go and say, Rick, we're saying all East Indians. No, that's not what we're saying. Because they're East Indian people who are perfectly patriotic, loyal, they're God-fearing people, they're loving people. They don't demonstrate racism, they don't contribute to it, they don't agree with the PPP racist policies. We're not talking about those people. I want to make it very clear. We're talking about the racist followers of the PPP cult. And like the young man said it just now, if you want to have one Guyana, you as leaders will have to lead. And not because we condemn racism means that we condemn East Indian people. And not because we condemn the PPP, we are condemning East Indian people. Because the PPP is conflating PPP with East Indians. And whenever you condemn them, they go and tell East Indian supporters, you hear they're condemning the PPP, they're going to condemn East Indian people. No, they're conflating it. We're talking about the People's Progressive Party, the leadership of that party, and the people that make up those parties, that party, they are racist to the core, and they're dangerous for Guyana. And if they want to continue to perpetuate their racism, they must take a little part of the country for some island and go and live there. And don't pollute the rest of the country with their racist philosophy and their anti-Black principle of governance.
Chris, I'm certain Irvin Ali has to be concerned with how with the optics of all of this. The the embassies that are here, the high commissions that are here must be shaking their heads. You know, you come to Mon Repos, as Rick said, nothing is wrong with that, the compensation and all of that. We talk about trust in the process, but it seems as though the folks at Mon Repos don't have to trust in the process. They can get compensation without, you know, taking anybody to court or anything like that. But the people forward of the East Coast gotta wait until the court decide and all of that. They gotta trust that process there. And even Ali, they don't get the benefit of talking to the president in their communities. He stops halfway, compensate the folks at Mon Repos, but he sends the riot squad and the soldiers further up the East Coast. Something must be wrong with that, and he must know that something is wrong with those kinds of images.
No, of course it is. And any sitting president, once you have situations like this in your country, you should be worried. And more so that Guyana is an oil producing country, and you have investors from all over wanting to invest in this country. But when they read the news and they see what is happening there, they are timid as to whether or not they can come and set up shop without running the risk that every few months or weeks there is a mass protest demonstration and your business has to be shut down and so forth. He is worried about it. But the question is, what is he doing to address it? Instead of confronting the issues of inequality, there is issues of inequality in this country. I remind your viewers, Sherrod, that within a few weeks when the People's Progressive Party Civic got into office, they claimed that there were several lands that were distributed to people that they have to reopen those agreements and revisit them. And the most prominent ones that the PPP went after was who? Carcare, Mr. What's his name?
Beresford.
Sevon. Yeah.
Then they went to Sevon's. All of these prominent African legitimate businessmen and businesses. That's who the PPP went after first. And you haven't heard of a single East Indian person who was given huge sums of land that the PPP went after.
And they lost all those cases, Chris. They lost all of those cases.
And they lost the cases. And that is what we're talking about inequality in this country.
Yeah.
Look at Vice President Jack Dio and Sue Gates. We said that he publicized the recording, the interview in its entirety, to get ahead of the storm before the actual interview was aired. And we saw him across the length and breadth of this country doling out 150,000 here, 250,000 there, and so forth. And most of these those monies that were being doled out were in the PPP's constituency. And I remind you viewers that I did last night, and I'll do so here again. At the end of Barack Jagdeo's run around this country doling out these cash grants, he went to Fort Wellington in West Coast Police, and he went to the village of Belladrum. He had a meeting at the Paradise Community Center ground. And in those two communities, there was not a single allocation of any cash grant to any of those communities. What he gave them is promises of giving them temporary jobs.
And those are black communities.
Exactly. So when you sit as an Afro-Guyanese in an African village or community, and you are watching and seeing this government doling out 150,000, 250,000 here and there, you ask yourself the question, what about me? I got children too. I got bills to pay too. And that is the reality. So listen, even before the incident concluded on the East Coast with Mon Repos, you had people on social media who were already putting up there that don't take worries, y'all will receive cash grant. Y'all will be compensated. And literally within hours, no less of a person than the president himself, not the minister, not the second man in charge, the president himself reached the Mon Repos because it is his constituency and said to them, listen, you got to worry about nothing. We got you. And within hours, we read today, there was a meeting at the school. The lady with the egg ball stand wanted $3 million because she lose her egg ball and she pylori and whatnot and so forth. And that is all we're talking about, the inequality. Now, at the same time, there is Golden Grove Market. You know, when the protest started there yesterday, a lot of the stalls at the Golden Grove Market were destroyed and they were placed in the middle of the road. And that was used as debris to block and burn on the road. What about the vendors there at the Golden Grove Market who lost their stalls? Nobody going up there to compensate them for their losses? No, you're not important. And that's why the veil has been removed again yesterday. So when Irfan is speaking to the international community and the diplomats and so forth about this one Guyana and this fairy tale Cinderella fantasy that the PPP trying to portray Guyana to be yesterday, that veil was removed.
The slipper is off. And we're running up to 12 o'clock.
Of this country. That is the reality. Irfan Ali, if he wants to be a successful president during his tenure, will confront racism head on.
And this is the moment.
Over it and plays jingles and songs. I got NCN every morning playing "We Are One Guyana" when the reality is different. I always say in closing on this point, Sherrod, that in life and politics there is perception and there is reality. And while Irfan Ali they continue to live in that fantasy, Cinderella fantasy, the people in this country live in the reality. You heard the woman yesterday, not from an African village, an East Indian woman, and lightly a supporter of the People's Progressive Party Civic, because she said in the next election, y'all done lose 5 votes from my house. And she too made the same point, pointing out the fact that you see the president and the government going to give disabled people money, this person money. She has no problem with that. Like us, we have no problem with that. But then the woman asks the same question, what about me? You know, last point, Sherrod, those people who Irfan Ali is saying, trust the process. Those of you who have the pink slip from the COVID cash grant, you still got the pink slip. Are you still trusting in the process?
When does the process?
For them to come back to you, because Irfan said that, you know,
when does the process?
Yeah, you're waiting on the process.
When does the process? You know, the young man said it, the conscious youth said it, you know, I've grew up in division. You know, as we close, Chris, how do we solve this? Chris Rickford, you know, how do we move forward as a country and build a country where all of us feel welcome as though we have a part?
First of all, Sherrod, the PP government has made a conscious decision not to engage Black leaders in Guyana. And they've made a conscious decision not to engage to serve the Black communities in Guyana. They use as an excuse for not engaging the Black leaders that people rig the elections. So all the Black people in Guyana rig the elections. So that's why they're not engaging Black leaders. Why isn't Barack Jagdeo, Irfan Ali, or Robeson Den, the most disgusting looking public official in Guyana. Why none of those people can go meet with the leaders in Golden Grove? As Chris said, why they can't go and compensate people in Golden Grove? They don't want to, because those are black people. Let us be very clear. And I want to be very clear about this. I live in America, where we form organizations to empower black people and protect them from racists. And Guyana will have to start doing the same thing. We will have to start forming black institutions in Guyana to make sure that we have equity, to make sure black people benefit from the oil, to make sure black people got oil blocks too, because we know that some Indians were sold or given oil blocks. We have to make sure that we protect jobs for our people. We have to make sure that we have a Black Lawyers Association, a Black Doctors Association. That's where we are going, or else we will be a country stuck in disparity and heading down the road of France or any of these Western countries that permanently disempower black people. That's where Guyana is going. And I'm happy Chris mentioned investors. I want to see black institutional leaders in Guyana writing Exxon, writing the investors, going and protest at Exxon office, force Exxon to shut their office down, and they in turn will have to start lobbying the government to solve some of these problems or pull back on investing in Guyana. We have to let the international community know and investors know things not normal in Guyana. Things are not normal. Black people are under threat of slavery by these racists in the PPP. That's what they want to do. By disempowering black people, that's slavery. By taking away our rights, that's slavery. By stifling us out from economic survival, that's slavery. So those people who want to dispute what I'm saying, bring your statistics. Let us see who are the people getting contracts. Let's see who are the people that got the cash grants. Let's see who are the people that got flood relief grant. One East Indian businessman supporter, PP supporter, who's a businessman in Barbados, got almost $1 billion in cash grant, flood relief. $1 billion. I have the documents to prove it. The people could deny it. $1 billion. But the poor black farmers in Mahaika had to stage a protest before the Minister of Agriculture, Zulfikar Mustafa, or whatever his name is, went and met with the people. Right? Chris mentioned most of the people with pink slips are African Guyanese. They're transferring the wealth of the country to their supporters. And so that protest yesterday wasn't only about Quindon Bacchus. It was a demonstration, a frustration with the lack of justice combined with hopelessness. And the fact that the police decide to shoot at them, every time black people decide to protest in Guyana, they send black police officers to shoot them with live bullets. They shot a Stabrook News reporter. Did you hear anybody from the police force or the Guyana government apologizing to her? They don't care because she is black. But they went to Mon Repos yesterday, and I'm pretty sure that Egbal woman got her $3 million. They were out there doling out funds to the East Indians because that's what they want. One East Indian Guyana. They're an ethnocracy. They're dangerous for this country. And unless there's some form of political or whatever rebellion to pull them back from the brink, they're going to enslave black people in our own country. And we not stand for it. This is a different time. This is not 1964.
Thanks, Rickford. Chris, as we wrap up.
Sherrod, listen, some of the points, the facts that Rickford brought out there is one of the reality that is happening in this country. The People's Progressive Party Civic has done an excellent job over the years, but that is now coming to an end. Of which, when you speak about inequality, when you speak about black lives, when you speak about black rights, the right to access the economic well-being of this country, the first thing that the People's Progressive Party and their minions do is to label you as a racist. I wouldn't be surprised if before the end of this evening, you will see Christopher Jones and Rickford Burke are two most racist parties. That's fine. Listen.
It's a badge of honor.
You know what I'm saying, right? Because over time, you get accustomed. That is their trump card that they normally throw. I cannot be a political leader in this country and sit idly by and watch atrocities being meted out to one group of people in this country without calling a spade a spade. And if I say it is racism, I will back it up with the facts and evidence, as we have been doing throughout the months, the 2 years or whatever in the opposition. We have been doing that. That is the political reality of this country, that there is segregation, there is inequality, there is injustice, and so forth. What could the government of this country or the Ghana police force explain to any one of us the justification for last night, in the dead of night, that the police invaded the house or the homes of people, innocent people in Growling Grove? What could be the justification? What were they looking for? The incident occurred at Mon Repos, miles away, on the road. You don't know who these people are. What is the justification? You know what it is? Intimidation and fear. And it is nothing new, Sharon. It is nothing new. I've been a part of so many protests in this country from 1997. And I can tell you that this is exactly the playbook. That at the dead of night, the soldiers and the police are instructed to go back into that community and terrorize them. Let them know who got power. Let them know we will shoot them dead. Let them know we will lock them up. That is the playbook of the People's Progressive Party, Civic. And that is why you saw that same playbook being played out again last night in Golden Grove. What could be the justification for the Ghana police force to go into the homes of innocent people throughout that village in the dead of night? What could be the justification?
Yep.
The PPP, and more so Irfan Ali, as the youngster rightfully mentioned, and I was singing the same sentiments several months ago, that despite Irfan being a PPP president, installed as he is, he has a glorious opportunity as a young president, a glorious opportunity to did what his predecessors could not have done. He had that glorious opportunity.
Yeah.
But we saw within a few months a complete transformation of this individual, that you can't recognize if he's Jaglio or Jaglio is he, but they now become two of the same. So the very same treatment that was meted out to Afro-Guyanese under a Barrett Jaglio's administration, the use of the Ghana police force to terrorize communities and so forth, you are seeing this very same thing now from Irfan Ali. So he has already failed in his attempt to bring about this one guy.
Yeah.
And they're using black police officers to terrorize black people.
You heard the youngster in the recording. You know, you heard the youngster himself in the recording said that, right? Last but not least, to every single Guyanese, irrespective of your ethnicity, irrespective of your political persuasion, every single Guyanese have that right to so choose his or her political party. But as Guyanese, if you are truly interested in bringing about a one Guyana, then it has to be one justice for everybody.
Yeah.
It has to be one opportunity for everybody. It can't be because my name is Singh Prasad Rampasad Dionat that it is easy for me to access 10, 20, 40, 50 acres of land. And if my name is Williams, Jones, Johnson, Duncan, or Burke, I have to go around the Mayberry bush or sign up to become a PPP member or go on TV like many of them or social media and sing praises for PPP. All of a sudden, we have to change that. Last but not least, Sharon, to those people who did not condemn the shooting of the Bacchus boy, I grew up on the Execrable Coast with my grandmother. And you know the thing my grandmother is always say, every cow is feel for your own calf. And that's why I said last night that those people, first what you have to do is put yourself in the shoes of the families of Bacchus, Henry, the Boston, and so forth. To get a sense of a feel of how these people are hurting. And then when you look to the justice system in this country to bring you swift justice, when you look to the government for leadership and sympathy, and you see nothing coming from them, and you see when the similar incident happened in an East Indian community, the same government reaches there within hours. What could be the explanation of the Minister of Social Services that she was swift to reach Mon Repos to bring all of what you spoke about earlier to the people.
Trauma services.
Exactly, which is needed. Have the minister dispatch her ministry to Golden Grove?
Trauma and counseling.
For counseling and so forth.
Yeah.
So don't bring to me this one Guyana and preaching this thing. Come to me first and let us discuss the elephant in the room, which is racism, victimization, and inequality in this country.
And one
When
East
we sit at the table,
Indian Guyana that you're trying to create.
when we sit and we discuss that, then we can go out together as leaders in the political realm and say that we are working towards bringing one Guyana. That is the reality.
And Sherrod, let me say, Sherrod, if I might say just a closing statement. I believe in closing arguments. When we saw the coalition government, we never had this problem. The police were allowed to were directed to allow people to exercise their constitutional rights. PCP supporters were protesting all over the country peacefully. They even break up stuff. They were allowed to do that. They even break up the Elections Commission. Police didn't arrest them because President Granger had not smart this policy of allowing people to express their constitutional right. If you want to see truly a one Guyana, it can only be achieved with a coalition government. That's my argument tonight. If Guyanese want to see oneness, Guyanese want to see progress and development, it can only take place with a coalition government. So everybody in Guyana should try to go and get registered. Once they're of age, go and get registered. Join or support the coalition. Spread the coalition gospel, because what we have here is a destructive ethnocracy that wants to oppress and trample on the rights of African Guyanese. They want to marginalize and discriminate and victimize against everybody that don't support them and everybody who's black. The coalition gospel is the gospel for Guyana.
You know, I think Chris put it in such stark terms. You know, Ifanali and Barjagna being now one and the same, and both bad for us. You got bullets and tear gas and pellets for Golden Grove and those.
And we got their squads for
right? And then you got people like Sue and others who handles all the agreements and who got all the support. And that is the kind of disparity we're talking about, and that's the kind of inequity that we're talking about. And it's there, is they whether you want to agree with it or not. And that is the reality and the lived experience for Guyanese in this country. Folks, guys, thanks for joining us.
Have a good night, everybody.
Great. Thanks for joining us, folks. That's our program. That's our time. We want to thank each and every one of you who stayed with us a lot past program time this evening. We're talking about Cheryl Sanders and Shelon Alves and Miriam Thompson, Sean Moore, and Bantu King, Jacqueline Argyle, and thanks especially to Christopher Jones, the Parliamentary Opposition Chief Whip. And you have also Rickford Burke from the Caribbean Guyana Institute of Democracy there in New York, sharing with us some of their insights. Folks, it's that kind of moment in this country. And everyone can choose to be a good installed president, rise to the occasion for once in his life and for once in his tenure. Rise to this occasion and take charge of this moment. That's what we got. Justice for Quindon Bacchus, and speak clearly to this issue of race and whatever seething below the surface in this country. That's what good leaders do. That's what good leaders should do. And we got to lead in this country. If we leaders, we have to lead. That being said, folks, that's our time. That's our program. Ann Phillips and all the other folks who stayed with us, all the other folks who joined us this evening, Andrew Cuthbert and Yvonne Daly, Nicole Harding, Joylin Cook, share the live and smash that emoji button, folks. Tomorrow is going to be a fundraising day for us, and I'm going to tell you why. I have a big day tomorrow, lots of expenses and responsibilities for keeping these programs going, and I want to enlist your support. That's what I'm going to be doing all day tomorrow, guys, asking you to give. I know lots of you come, you view, you consume the content here, and you just, wipe your mouth and say, hey, I got Tomorrow we're going to be asking you guys to, join with us and help us to raise some funds to keep our program going. We're in the red, folks, and we need your help. We need your help. But that's all the time we have for this evening. Tracy Mullen and Nikki Innes, thanks for joining us. Michelle Johnson, Nikki Innes, Andrew Cuthbert, Nicole Harding, Tessa Lee, and all you beautiful folks. Smash the emoji button before you go, folks, and share the program to your profile, to your page, and share it to a group you're in. Send the link to somebody you know on WhatsApp. Folks, thanks for joining us on Twitter. Thanks for joining us on LinkedIn and YouTube. Thanks for joining us on Facebook. Yes, we know you're all fast. Paulette Hicks and Henrietta Anthony, Michelle Cox, Vanilla Garnett, Deborah Clark, Julian Williams, Sharon Joseph, and each and every one of you. Thanks for sharing this time with us. It is very meaningful for us. We're humble, folks. We're very thankful. Stay safe. That's our program. That's the time, folks. That's the program. That's our time. Stay safe.